I'm Ginger.
I'm Dee.
And
this is Chattin With CHAP. Back together.
Back together.
No trying to.
I know that was so weird.
I'm so technologically challenged.
You know what? I actually think it's a difference between a page, because that's what we're on right now. We're on a page, and
A group.
which is where we practice.
Yeah, and groups are easier.
And Facebook doesn't work.
Well, I just have to put a little disclaimer out here. Did I mention we bought a puppy?
Puppy.
I don't know. Well, I decided for Chattin With CHAP it would be good to put him in his crate, but he's not liking it, so he's fussing. So if you hear a dog fussing in the background, no worries, no concerns.
It's just the new puppy.
Yeah, he'll get over it. He'll get over it. But today,
Yes.
we are going to talk about setting up to home educate your children. You know, we're just, how do you set that up? What does that look like?
Were you homeschooled?
I was not.
No, me either.
No.
I wasn't homeschooled either. So did you have an idea about what homeschool would look like before you started it? For yourself?
I might have had an idea. It was not an accurate one. I might have had some thoughts, but 19 years later, looks nothing like that.
Yeah, exactly. We all have ideas in our heads, right?
Yeah.
It should be like this. I had no clue myself. I definitely had thoughts, just because of our own experiences. You know, you think what it'll be like because of what we've experienced in our own lives. But Steve and I, we're like preparers, and we kind of want to understand what's coming, and Steve's a researcher, so we started going to convention when our oldest was 3.
Oh,
so it's
wow.
like 2 years before he even had to start, if there is really a necessary start time for schooling, because we just wanted to know. And I could go there, and there's so much curriculum, and what do you pick? And
Yeah. And there's lots of options out there and so many styles. Like, did you ever think, maybe I'm doing, like, I chose the wrong style? I'm doing the wrong thing.
Well, and I know, one of the things I remember about looking is they weren't all dry textbooks. Like, people were learning, like the literature, rich history stuff, and things like that. And that just, like, wow, it wasn't a dry textbook to me. So I don't think I ever thought about style, but I did. I was concerned if I was picking the wrong curriculum. I don't know if I actually thought about style, but I definitely thought about curriculum, and I definitely thought I was very worried about picking the right one. It's got to be the right curriculum.
Yes. You know, and I'm sure that's a concern of many moms out there. The truth is, though, everyone learns in a different way.
Yes.
Not one way fits everyone. We have many similarities that are close to other styles, but we each have our own quirks.
And those quirks are good. I mean, they can be frustrating, but they're good because they bring spice to our life. They make things different. Life is definitely not boring because we're all different. So being similar to others in learning style does make it easy to learn in groups. You know, like if you have a co-op class or whatever, that style, the style that's done in public school, it's easy to learn in groups that way. But not everybody's going to fit into that style really well. Right.
So if you find that your school is not going well, not just that you're having a bad day, because they happen
they do.
frequently, but if you're finding it's not going well, maybe you need to stop and take a look back at how you're approaching it. I think some of the best advice I ever got was from a very dear friend, Bonnie Griner, speaker at convention. She really mentored me along the way early on, because I hadn't been to convention. It just was a kind of a decision we made. And one thing she said to me, if the curriculum is not working, please do not use it the entire year long just because you paid for it. Like, you know, and I know we put a lot of money into it, and we think we bought this curriculum, you're going to use this curriculum. But she said, if it's not working, stop it. Because it's just, no one's learning, and everybody's just frustrated. And that was really good advice. And there was a few years that I bought something and I had to find something else mid-year. It just didn't
I did
work.
that too. I was doing something with one of my girls one year. It was in English, and halfway through she said, "Mom, I don't want to do this anymore." And I was like, "What?"
We bought it.
And she got through halfway through the book, and it was so she had a good amount of English for that year. It was all right, but she was just like, "No, I'm done. I'm not doing this." So now her younger sister's finishing that book for her English.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's just me.
Yep, that's awesome. See, you can do that. Multiple children, then you can save it and reuse it. But Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really good advice to me. You know, sometimes we just have to have a look at how we're approaching things.
Yeah, yeah, and there's so many different ways to do it.
Yeah.
It just really is. So, so is what you're doing? Does it look like public school at home? Like, do you have a desk? Do you have your worksheets? You got a little pencil jar? But is that driving you crazy? Is it driving your kids batty?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, there's nothing wrong with textbooks and worksheets,
there's
but not everyone learns well that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
So don't feel like you have to recreate school at home. In fact, maybe instead of thinking about it as homeschool, you should think about it as home education and how you can best educate your child.
Yeah, so there's a lot of freedom in that.
Yeah.
Because education happens in so many different ways. Learning happens in different ways. Home learning, too, would be good instead of school, because school definitely has connotations for everybody. There's always something in our heads when we think about the word school. So thinking about education or learning may help you think outside the bricks.
Yeah.
So outside of that brick building. So education does not need to happen at a desk. It doesn't need to happen during worksheets or listening to lecture. In fact, I think there's very few people who actually learn and retain by lecture.
Right. Very true.
Yeah.
It's just that's really not the learning style of a lot of children. And so being flexible and trying different styles is helpful when getting your homeschool started. But what's the right style for your kids? How do we figure that out?
Well, and that's a really great question. So you can't just say that, whatstyleismykid.com.
Or this is how I learn, so they must learn this way.
Yeah.
That's a big mistake.
Yeah, it's totally different too. So
Yeah.
moms, this is where your job to study comes in. So they have their job to study. Your job to study comes in when you're studying your kids. Have you studied your kids? Do you know the best way in which they learn? Have you discovered that?
Yeah. Do they remember everything that you read to them or that they hear from an audiobook? Who do we got here? Oh, I gotta struggle with this. Even after so many years, thank you for bringing it to my attention again. Doing homeschool, not school.
Yeah.
Right,
It's easy
that's
to
right.
fall into
Yes,
that.
It
really,
sure is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But some kids, they remember everything that you read to them.
Read
what
to
they
them
hear.
their audio.
Yeah.
learners.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, or do they use their hands? Are they building stuff, taking things apart, fixing things, writing, drawing,
Yeah.
moving? There's lots of kids who learn by moving. One of our friends just said recently, I think it was when the school year was starting, she said that she had a kid who learned to read upside down. And I don't know if she meant that her kid was upside down or if the book was upside down. I don't know, but something was upside down.
Probably the kid.
I don't know.
We've had that, yeah. Or what about watching? Like, do they know exactly what to do once they've seen it?
Yeah,
They see it once and they know how to do it.
Show me how to do it.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So once you study your children, you'll be able to determine how they best learn. So it does take time. So don't think you're going to have like your answers in one day. It's
Right.
going to take, watch them when they play.
Little trial and error.
Yeah, or if you give them something new to do, see how they approach it.
Right.
That kind of thing.
But just don't feel pressured to recreate what you experienced at school or even in your childhood home if you were homeschooled. Remember that everyone is different.
Yeah, so you second generation homeschoolers, your kids might learn in a different way than you got to learn. So
Yeah.
it's just different for everybody. So there's no formula. Sorry.
We wish there were.
I'm like, yeah. Unlike math, there's no formula.
Yeah.
So the great thing about studying your kids is that you do really get to know them and you build your closer relationships with them by spending time with them and just, wow, you really get to know them. And I would think they would really feel that my mom really knows me. Like she gets me. So that's really
she's
cool.
not forcing me to learn in a way that I don't. I enjoy singing
geography songs.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
On our
And
walks
they
and bike rides.
learn
It's
that
great.
way.
Yeah.
Yes,
Singing
yeah.
is wonderful. It's a great way to remember.
Yeah,
things.
but building relationships, I mean, that's what we're made to do. Be in relationship with each other. And sometimes, Mom, loving our kids means some hard choices.
Yeah, it really does. And sometimes you know what they need, but they don't want to do it. And you might not even want to do it. And that's hard.
Yeah, but if God is leading you down a certain road, then you need to be obedient and follow.
And He knows what is best for you guys, and He will never let you down. He's going to walk you through it.
That's right. That's right. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight.
Yes, He will.
Yes.
Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. That is good news. So be encouraged out there, moms.
Yep. Think outside of the bricks.
Outside of those bricks. You can do this.
Yeah.
You can totally do it. And enjoy that time. Enjoy that time getting to know your kids. It's a beautiful thing.
It sure is.
Yeah. So, next week, we're going to talk about life skills.
Ooh, life
Things
skills.
you don't learn in books.
That's right. That's some good stuff.
It is.
Well, this has been
Chattin'
Chattin' with
with
Chap.
Chap.
See you next
See ya.
week.
Thanks for tuning in.